Today's session is going to be little technical. I'll try to simplify it as much as possible, but if still you have any confusion, you can always ask. And we may not be able to cover, when I try to, the course material, the material that is given for today's session, because most of the candidates are, they don't have technical knowledge. So I don't my purpose is not, my aim is not to finish every code, every material from this session, but to make you understand also. So we may not complete one of the slides today. We will take it up in the next session. But then, uh, whatever we will be learning, whatever we'll be discussing, I'll make sure that you guys have understood all of that. Okay? So we'll not go by the length of the course. We'll go by the understanding of all of you. Like always, if you face any technical issues with GoToMeeting tool, I would request all of you to call up to this support number. And throughout the session, I'll put all of you on mute. So if you have any questions, if you want to use your mic, you will have to wait for the end of the session. Meanwhile, if you have any questions related to the slide, you can always put it in chat box. Okay. So before we start today, we will learn where all we can use keywords. And before we start, I first want to understand if everybody is clear with the keyword research process. If anybody is not clear, can you please say yes or no? Because if keyword research is not clear to any one of you, then there is no point in moving ahead. So I need yes, no, why, and from all of you if you are clear with keyword research process or not. So there are 15 attendees right now. I need answers from all of you. Santosh, do you still have any doubt in keyword research? Okay, Rohit, I got that. Santosh, are you there? Why? What part was confusing? What part was confusing? See, if you tell me clearly, it will help me, Santosh, so that I make it clear, make today's session at least clear to you. But if you don't tell me, I mean, there is no way I will understand which part was not clear, because rest everybody understood more or less. But if in case you have not, some part was not clear, I think it will be better if you give me honest feedback, Santosh. No, Rohit, if you are not selling that, it's not relevant to you. If you are not selling mount, then you should not take that keyword. Okay, Santosh, since you are not opening up, okay. How do we decide if the keyword volume is high, medium, or low depending on advert keyword research tool? High, medium, low is competition, Anuradha. Are you talking about competition? Keyword volume is always in range. I believe you're talking about this part. No, no, Rohit. Irrelevant keywords you should not take. You will your users will be, I mean, it will be misleading to your users. You are not selling mount, then why to add it in a topic? But yes, if you are writing content, informative content, like how to put how to use the right mount for action cameras, if there is some informative content, then you can use, but not for conversion keywords. Anuradha, are you talking about competition here, or keyword search volume? Search volume is this, competition is this. In assignment, you have to represent in high-low format. Okay, 1 second. This is your assignment. This you are talking about. Competition, you have to mention whatever keyword competition is there. If it is medium, high, low, you have to write here. And search volume, you need to mention the range, sorry. Search volume, you should mention the high, maximum, minimum to high, maximum search volume. 10-100, minimum to maximum, like this. And then whatever is the so let's say if I picked California road trip as a keyword, this I'll write it here. Search volume will be 10 to 100 and competition here is low. And then keyword type will be information. Were you asking about this part, Anuradha? Search volume part? Yeah, so you need to mention minimum to maximum range. Okay, clear? Anuradha, have I answered your question? Guys, I'm taking up question answers first because if keyword research is not clear, there is no point moving to an on page. You're talking about this? Instructions, Anuradha, are you talking about instructions? So instructions, it's written sort remaining keywords by volume, high to low and competition. So you need, that day also I told you that you need to go by maximum search volume. So if you want, you can even remove this minimum search. And sort keyword is nothing but, 1 second, let me add filter here. Nothing but maximum search volume should be sorted from high to low. This one. Okay, and then you can write the keywords here. Keywords from this list. So you don't have to sort from minimum searches, you have to sort by maximum searches. So I hope your query is resolved, Anuradha. So remember, Ravi, I told you that you can set a threshold. Let's say I don't want keyword with 0 to 10 searches. I don't want to, put effort on these keyword because it will not give me any search. Sorry, any traffic. So I'll set a minimum threshold as 100. So this sorting will help me to set the minimum threshold, Ravi. Because otherwise keywords are mixed up. So it will be difficult for you to remove these keywords. Segment Segment is important. Why do we sort keyword into segment? Segment is important because to help the decide the priority. So if your business objective is to earn revenue, then because you cannot optimize all keywords together, so yeah, so because you'll not be able to optimize all keywords together, you need to go priority wise. So you can decide your priority, which segment you want to target first. You don't have to sort keyword, but yes, segmentation you have to do, because to decide the priority. So there was one question by um, Mega. If the sessions are too short on somebody's search on Google, then will Google rank down the website for that keyword on the results page? No, sessions as in the traffic, Mega. Website traffic you're talking about? So Google may not. So the see it depends. If you're a blog, right, and if your blog post is short, right, so the person who intend to read that person, let's say I have written a blog on 10 tips to 10 tips for traveling to Europe. Okay, so my blog consists more of pictures, less text and more pictures. Now I have searched as a user, I searched on Google and I landed on this blog. I wanted to read. My intention is to read, right? Get the information. So in that case, I went to the blog, I spent reading, and I exited from the page because my purpose was resolved. But because there was less text, the average session time spent is lesser, right? But because I have done a lot of activity, I've scrolled, I saw pictures also, I've scrolled the page. So the bounce rate will not be high in that case because you have spent some time, right? And you have done some activity. Even scroll is considered as activity. So if your bounce rate is not very high, but then your average session time is less, then it won't affect the rank. But if your bounce rate is 90%, 100%, and average time spent is also very less, 10 seconds, then definitely it will affect the rank. You got my point? It also depends on the kind of content that you're providing on a page. Okay, then there was one question asked by Surbi. For normal SEO purpose, should we focus on long tail or popular search term? Surbi, it also depends. See, popular search term you should always focus on. In fact, those will be your focus keyword. So when you are focusing now, every focus keyword or popular search term will have a high competition also, and it will take time to rank accordingly. It's not impossible to rank on those keywords, but it will take time. So meanwhile, while you are already focusing on these popular search term, what you can do, if your objective is also to generate leads or get business out of SEO, then you can also simultaneously you can target long tail keyword as well or low hanging fruits as well, so that your uh, Surbi, can you hear me now? I was saying that popular search term will always have high competition, and the ranking on those keywords will take a little longer, right? So what you can do, you can start focusing on these popular search term, and simultaneously you can also start picking the low hanging fruits, right, or long tail, because they can solve another purpose for you. They can give you conversions, right? So your business objective for getting leads or conversion will be solved from there. At the same time, because you are focusing on popular search terms also, slowly you will start coming in rank as well. So you are not losing your time. You in the same time you are optimizing your low hanging fruits as well. Start picking one or two keywords from low hanging fruit and start ranking on those. Okay, so at the same time you're working on two business objectives. Was primary objective, which is to generate business, and secondary objective also, which is to generate traffic. So that's the right way to work on focus keywords. Okay, next, By Rohit, also one thing I noticed for keyword search for next gen cameras, almost 90% keyword were high search volume and high competition. Yes, because they will be, Rohit, because action cameras are really in trend, and because they are in trend, there is a lot of demand. Then and people, so that's the reason there is high competition also. So what you should do, you should start at the same time when you are focusing on, as I just told to Surbi, when you are focusing on high search volume keyword, at the same time there would be some specific keyword like action camera with so and so resolution and so feature. Those will be your long tail or low hanging fruit. So simultaneously, you should also start optimizing site for those. Okay, don't ignore such keywords. Those keywords will also have high competition but low searches. Rohit. Should we use the suggestions generated by AdWords or use seed keywords based on own research? You can do use both. They will be more or less same. When you research for seed keyword, you automatically get, and when you put the same keyword in Google suggestion will also consist those seed keywords as well, because it is also likely to show the trending keywords, right? So your seed keywords will be there. You need to cull out duplicates also in that case. Should the keywords be chosen based on high competition and maximum search or relevance? In some cases, relevant keywords are listed in low search. That's the reason we did segmentation, Ganesh. You should go by segmentation, right? And whatever segment you want to work on first, you should do go with that. Now, this segment might include your high search keyword also, and low search and high competition keyword also. Yes, it might include low hanging fruits also, Ganesh. Okay, then you can go with the AdWords generated keywords will be in that case. You, because they are your competitors, Rohit, you should always keep a check on your competitor. What they are doing, what keyword they're using, what SEO practices they are doing, right? So how much are the websites shown by Google that our audience visited dependable? See, because they are coming on top in search also, Anuradha, you need to, you don't have to depend on them, but they are good they can be good benchmark for you to look at, right? That's the reason we are asking you to add those to the assignment. You need to outrank these websites, so obviously you need to uh, you know uh, keep a thorough check on these sites. No, so that's the reason I told you. I never asked you to check competitor sites in Google Keyword Planner. I told you you need to type the theme name in Google. Remember, that's what I told you. If I am into international travel, I'll type that in Google, and then whatever websites are coming on top will be the site that my audience is visiting. Coming on top is in organic searches, right? And you need to pick these relevant sites. Don't go by that. You should go by what I'm telling you, Rohit. I'll get it changed in the assignment also. Okay, because Google Keyword Planner will definitely not show the relevant sites many a times. All right. Yes. Yes, Rohit. So in assignment or in presentation, mind map is before keyword research, but then I think it is always good to do mind map after keyword research, because then you get idea what kind of mind mapping you need to do. So that's the reason I told you, I at that time, like last week, I told you to do mind map after keyword research. Don't go by that. You should go by what I'm teaching. Ultimately, you have to do your assignment. You need to be clear on every concept, right? So don't, if something is confusing you, don't go by what's written. Go by what I am teaching. Okay? Because I try to simplify everything for you. The idea is to make it understandable to you. You should know what is mind map. That is the whole point. We will start Mega, don't worry. As I said, it's not, there is no point in starting the session unless everybody is clear on keyword research, because today's session is all about keyword, using keywords. All right then. Uh, Santosh, do you want clarity on something? No? So I'm taking it as no. So I'm starting today's session. If you need clarity, you can always type in chat box. Okay. Now can I explain mind mapping towards the end? A lot of people need to understand that. I'll explain this towards the end now. Okay, now let's start now. So we will discuss on page today. On page, as I said, is all about doing changes and using keyword on your website. There are a lot of places where you can use these keywords. We will look at all those things, and apart from that also, there are a lot of things where areas where you need to pay attention from SEO perspective. We will look at each of those things today. So when we talk about on-page SEO, you need to be technically, you need to understand a few things. How many of you understand HTML? Have anyone? Okay. Okay. So HTML is basically hypertext markup language. It is a language to write code. Okay. Back like in early days of SEO, there used to be mostly websites in HTML language. Today there are a lot of other languages also, but previously it used to be just the mostly HTML sites. Now Google crawler has always been, crawling HTML sites or HTML coding faster than any other language. So Google says if you want to optimize anything or certain area on your website, make sure you are exposing that area to me with the help of HTML code. Make sure the code that is where the make sure the code where you have written your content, links, anything, make sure that part is in HTML. It's viewable to me, because if it is viewable and readable to me, then only I'll be able to crawl it. So I'll explain a few HTML basics to you. We will not learn coding in this session because it is not developer section, it's a HTML thing. So I'll make you clear with a few terms that are useful for SEO, and I'll also tell you where you can use those. We'll first understand basics. Okay, so any HTML, unlike or similar to a document, like you start a document with heading and then write the content and then give a conclusion para. Similarly, HTML also has a certain format. Any HTML will start with this doc type declaration. This is document type. So you have to, any coding will that is in HTML will start with this code or this tag doc type HTML. So we call, there are multiple tags in HTML. Okay, so it will start with this tag. Then after this, HTML will have this HTML tag, and so this is the opening of HTML tag, and any tag in HTML will have a closing also with a slash. Okay, with this slash the tags end. So this is a standard thing. You cannot add anything else between these two. There will always be this at the first place and then HTML at the second place. Okay, and then HTML page will end with a slash. Now between this opening and closing tag of HTML, there will be a head section. Consider this as a human body. We have head and then body. Similarly, HTML will be divided into two sections, head section, and once head section ends with a slash, body starts. And then body also ends. Okay, and when the body ends, HTML language code also ends. Okay, so to repeat, the HTML will start with a doc type declaration. It is a kind of declaration if the page is written in HTML or not. Then page will start with this particular tag, which is HTML tag, and HTML tag will end towards the end of the document with a slash, right? Then between opening and closing of HTML, the page will be divided to two sections, head section and body section. Okay, everybody clear with these four tags? Is everybody clear with these four tags? Okay, so to verify this, we will look at one of the sites. Let's say this website. Now I want to see the code of this page and I want to see if this page is written in HTML or not. And if it is written in HTML, then is it following the same format or not? What happened here? 1 second. So to check the coding of this page, we will right click and click on view page source. Okay, now tell me, let me increase this. Tell me, can you see doc type declaration and starting of HTML tag? Yes, it is there. And it has head between the, now if we go towards the end, if we have to ensure if it is ending with slash HTML or not, can you see if it is ending with slash HTML? It is ending with HTML, right? Now we will verify if there is a head and body section also or not. See this, there is a head section, right? Now we will find the closing of head section. Sorry. So see this, there is a closing of head section And what after the closing, what next, what tag is starting after closing of head section? What is the tag that is starting? Right, body is starting, and here is the body tag. And if we go towards the end, you will see a closing body tag also. Here is the closing body tag right before the closing HTML tag. Okay, so this shows that HTML has these many tags. Now, whatever you add in the head section will not be visible to user, right? It will not be visible to user, but it will be visible to bot or Google crawler, right? Why it will be visible to bot? Can anybody tell me? Why will it be visible, whatever you write within the head section? Why it is visible to bot but not to user? It is visible to bot because bot reads the code, right? The Google crawler cannot look at the page like a human being, but because it is a program, right? It cannot see like us, right? So what it does, it crawls the content through coding, and because it is crawling the content through coding, then obviously it will see whatever is written in the head section. Okay, apart from this, whatever you write, so there are a certain places in the head section, there are a few tags that are added within the head section where you can use keyword. Okay, we will talk about those tags now. First tag that you can use to add keyword is the title tag. Okay, and whatever you write, so title tag has this opening and it has this closing with a slash, and whatever you write in the title tag appears as a meta title on search result page. Remember I told you this blue text is meta title? Do you remember that? Meta title, right? Guys, if anybody is not understanding anything, it will be great if you type in the chat box, because if you don't type, I have no idea, I have no other way to know whether you are getting everything or not. Okay, all right. Now, to verify this statement that whatever is written in title appears here or not, we will again look at the title tag of this page, Smarter Traveler, travel.com. Okay. If I have to check the title tag here, let's see if it is there or not. So here the title tag says 6 things newbies should know about international travel, smarter travel, right? Let's let's see if the same thing is appearing here or not. Is it the same thing? Is the same title appearing? Yes, right? So whatever you want to show here against a search query, whatever you want to show here in the search result page for your page should be added within the title tag. Now we will learn how can we frame meta title. How can we frame best meta titles? To learn that, we will go by this keyword sheet, this sheet that we did for the keywords that we researched last week. Yeah, this portion. Remember we assigned pages, keywords against pages. So in order to write meta title, this part you need to complete where you have assigned for content, you assign multiple keywords for a page, right? Using this same set, you can frame your meta title also. Now, when you write meta title, there are few things that you need to remember. Number one is meta title should be I'm sorry guys. Can you hear me now? Sorry, there was a power cut, so I had to move to alternate connection. Sorry for the interruption. So I was telling you the meta title. Meta title, there are a few rules, not rules, there are a few things that you need to take care. First is your meta title should be 67 characters long with space. Okay, it should be 67 characters long with space. Why 67 characters? Because if you write meta title longer than 67 character, then Google will truncate your title by showing dot 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 like this. This title was more than 67 characters with a space. So Google is not able to show the complete title and it has truncated the title and is showing dot 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 now after travel. Okay, so make sure you write or you add your important keywords within the 67 characters. Second thing you to take care is the overall meta title should be sensible uh, and should start with primary keyword. Okay, overall meta title should be sensible and should start with primary keyword. And third thing is, if possible, add a call to action within meta title or add an adjective. Okay, now I'll show you demo. I'll frame a meta title and then after that I'll ask you people to frame a title for me. Okay, okay, I am going to frame the meta title for this page, Europe travel packages. Okay, so the primary keyword will be the keyword that is mentioned in at first. The keyword that you mention first in this row will be your primary keyword. Okay, so if I have to start meta title, I'll write it like Europe travel packages, and then you can use comma or hyphens also. Your Europe travel packages. Then my next keyword is road trip from India to Europe, Europe tours from India. So I'll further write it to um, Europe tours from India, road trips from India to Europe. That will be too long. Europe travel packages. Okay, book road trips and tours to Europe from India. Now we will check how long is this title. To check that, I'll open a Word document and I'll count the characters here. 72, right? 67 characters I wrote, but it is 72 characters long. So I'll reduce it here. Instead of and, I'll mention I have changed it to ampersand. I'll check it again. 70 characters out of 71 is exclamation mark, which is okay. If Google is truncating the exclamation mark, it is okay, right? So more or less it is close to 67 characters. And if you ask me if I have added all keywords, I have added your road trips from India to Europe also, and I have added Europe tours from India. So it's not important to use exactly the same keyword in the same order. You can use variations also, right? But if you can cover 2-3 keywords in title, that's well and good. Has everyone understood how to frame a good meta title? I need response from everyone, guys. Only a few people are responding. Santosh, are you clear with meta title? Okay, I'll repeat. So meta title, I told you a few things to remember. One is it should be 67 characters long. If at all you have to make it longer than 67 characters, then make sure you add all your important keywords within the 67 character. Second thing is overall meta title should be sensible because it will appear on Google search and it will be visible to user through Google search. So it should make some sense. And third thing is if possible, the third thing is your primary keyword should the meta title should start with primary keyword. And fourth thing is if it is possible to add any call to action like book, order, buy, right? But all these call to action, then you can add that also to the meta title. Now using that, if we go by the rule that the title should start with the primary keyword, and if I have to write title for this page, Europe page, then my primary keyword is Europe travel packages. So I started my title as Europe travel packages. You can write variation, you can tweak words here and there also. So for example, it can be travel packages to Europe also, right? But Europe travel packages sounds good, so I started my title with that. And then further to make it sensible, I tried incorporating the other two words keywords also. So I wrote a title as book road trips and tours to Europe from India. Here I'm using road trip from India to Europe. Here is road trip from India to Europe, right? And then I'm using second keyword also, Europe tours from India. So more or less I have used three keywords here and my title is 70 characters long. Out of 71 character will be for this exclamation mark, right? Which is fine. So my title is I mean, more or less, it is limiting to 67, 68 characters. And I have added a call to action, which is book. Okay. So, and the overall title is also making sense. So, this is how you can write good meta titles. Yes, Ravi. So, whatever pages you want to show in rank, right? For each of those pages, you have to frame separate meta title based on the keywords that you have assigned for that page. Bojan, are you clear now with the meta title? Primary keyword is generally the keyword that you add at the first place in your list, Santosh. Primary keyword will be generally your priority keyword, focus keyword. So I'm assuming everybody is clear with the meta title. If you are clear, then I request all of you to write a title for this solo travel page. The keywords here are solo travel packages and solo travel. So can all of you frame title and post in the chat box? Remember the three things. Title should be 67 character long. It should start with the primary keyword. The overall title should make some sense. And wherever possible, if possible, then you should add call to action also. Now, based on these 4 points, can you frame a title, please? I'm waiting. So first is written by Santosh. Get amazing solo travel packages on this summer. Book your solo trip now. The best packages for those solo travels. Mega, it should start with primary keyword. Keyword added first in the list. Book exotic packages for solo travel. No, you have not started your keyword with your title with the primary keyword. Somashubra. And Santosh, you still have space. Let's see how much is the character count. 49 character. You can still stretch your title a bit. Solo travel packages for you, Priya, very short. Guys, you should leverage 67 characters. Solo travel packages by now. Best for solo travel. That looks okay. Ravi. Solo travel packages for exotic destinations in Europe. Rajesh, it's not Europe. It's common, generic solo travel packages. It can be to any place in the world. Solo travel packages for Europe. I'm sorry, Rohit, this was for you. This is not only Europe, it can be any place. And yes, Rajesh, to you also. Solo travel packages for Europe. Europe tool beat the heat. Book now. Enjoy this summer by booking great solo. No, the title should start with primary keyword, guys. Don't forget that. Solo travel packages around the world. Bookings open now. That looks nice. Book now to these amazing top solo travel packages. No Bojans, it should start with primary keyword. Don't forget. Solo travel packages, book at an exciting price now. That's nice, Surbi, but you still have a space. You can add a few more words. Solo travel packages, bookings to anywhere. Call us now. That's nice. Solo travel packages to amazing destinations. Beat the heat. Book now. That's nice, Rajesh. I think it is little longer. Let's check. 70 characters, but it looks good. Guys, I'm waiting for others. Solo travel packages. By now, find yourself on your solo travel. Hey, nice, nice, Ravi. Book adventurous solo travel packages for an exotic journey. That's nice. Is that it? Nobody else? Okay, all right. So I guess more or less all of you have understood. Okay, one is mega solo trips for the soul. Mega, you have not used primary keyword. Solo travel packages is the primary keyword. Solo travel packages, book now and experience wonders like never before. That's nice, Bhojan. Mega, I'm waiting for a revision because I don't think anybody else is sending. Solo travel packages, book now to avail the benefits. That's nice, Preeti, but you still have a space to add a few more words. Okay, all right. So I guess more or less all of you understood how we can frame title. Solo travel packages for the soul, book yours now. Nice, Mega, nice. So, okay, there's one more solo travel packages, bookings to anywhere. Who know? Oh my God, this is too long, very long, Anand. Let's see how long it is. 96 characters long. Because primary keyword is your focus keyword, Santosh, and generally that is how the pattern goes in search result pages. If you look at these things, let's say I search for solo travel packages, right? If I search for this and highlight solo, let's see. Okay, so here the keyword pattern is different, but if you look at the search results, they will mostly start with the focus keyword. So these primary keywords are known as focus keyword. They generally have high search volume, right? Irrespective of competition, they generally have high search volume, so they need to be given importance more than any other keyword. So that's the reason it's a pattern to start the title with the primary keyword. See this. So we could not find primary keyword in case of solo travel because our research, we have not done thorough research here. We if you remember, I only assigned keyword based on a few research keywords. But if you do a thorough research, you will have all patterns with you. And out of all those patterns, you can identify the top ones. No, there is no negative effect, but it is considered as a good practice, best practice. All right. So, any confusions with title? Everybody is clear with meta title? Is everybody clear with meta title? All right, cool. So now that you have learned meta title and now you also know where the title should be added, it should be added within the title tag within the head section. Okay. The next thing in line that where you need to work is your meta description, which is this part that appears in search result page. So you can also control what to show in the meta description. And this meta description is added right below meta title, and the code for or the tag HTML tag for writing meta description. Let me is this. Oh, it's not this. Anuradha, you have not used primary keyword. The primary keyword was solo travel packages. Yes, the code to write meta description is meta description. It's a very long code, guys. Just a minute. I'm thinking of copying is the code instead of writing. Yes, here. So this is the code for meta description, the tag, sorry, the meta description tag, right? Meta name, description, and content. And inside the inverted commas of content, you have to write your description. Now, this meta description should explain what is there on the page. It should tell about the page, right? And it is a detailed version of titles, whatever you keywords and call to actions, whatever you are adding in title. Title has character limit of 67 character, but meta description can be longer than 250 characters also, right? And that needs to be written inside this inverted comma. Now, similar to meta title, there are a few things that you need to take care while writing meta description. First thing is, it should have meta description should have primary as well as secondary keywords. Should have secondary keywords. Second is meta descriptions should be written in a sentence format. Okay. Third thing is there should always be a call to action. In title, it is optional adding call to action, but in description it is important, mandatory. Okay, so these three things you need to take care while writing meta description. Now, if we go by writing meta description for this page, if I have to write meta description for Europe page, this is how I will write. I'll try to include keywords. So my meta description will, let's say, start book Europe travel packages from India. And then next line I'll write excited about road trips. How about going on a well planned road trip from India to Europe? And then because I'm writing this for Pick Your Trail, I might include brand name also. Pick Your Trail gives you a chance to book a road trip or book a tour or Europe tour at the best price, right? So I have included my call to action as book. I have included my keyword Europe travel packages, road trips to Europe also, road trips to Europe, and book a Europe tour also. So I've included variety of keywords. My description is written in a sentence format, and I have also included my call to action in the description, right? So this is how you, and it is written in sentence format also. So this is how you need to write the meta description. Okay, is everybody clear with writing meta description? Everybody clear? I can see response only from 4 people. Clear, not clear, somewhat clear. Yes, used. No, for WordPress, any website that has a CMS, there will always be plugins, Santosh. But if two things, if your website is any change is done by developer, if the site is being developed, then you might need to take developers' help to update meta description. Otherwise, if the CMS is also inbuilt in-house, if your developer has built the CMS, then in that case also you can update it through CMS. But in all other cases, you can have plugin. I was telling Shreya that your meta description should have a primary as well as secondary keyword. So I had my guys. Can you hear me? Am I audible? Okay, so the primary keyword I have included here, but at the same time, the description should be written in a sentence format. If you look at this title, it was not it was essentially not a sentence format but a sensible title. But descriptions have to be in sentence format. So I included my primary keyword in a sentence: book Europe travel packages from India. Then I started another sentence, excited about road trips. Then sentence after that, how about going on a well-planned road trip? So here, everywhere, I'm trying to incorporate keyword naturally, right? It doesn't look keyword stuffing. It reads like a sentence, but it includes my keyword also. Okay. And call to action is, as I said, book, order, inquire. All these are call to actions. So I have included call to action also. There is no limit now because Google has started showing a longer meta description also, but I prefer meta description to be 250 characters long. I recommend it to be that long. Okay, there is no restriction as such. Okay, so now if everybody is clear, can you start writing meta descriptions for the same page, solo travel packages page?
I'm so bad at it, but I'm still full of trouble.
No need to write anything in place of description, only in place of content we need to write. Yes, yes. This has to be intact. You cannot change anything in the standard tag. That is the standard tag. Inside the inverted comma after content, you can write your description, Santosh. Guys, can you frame a description for solo travel page?
So travel reception for solo. Oh solo.
I'm waiting for all of your suggestions for description. Shreya, are you trying to talk? Because I believe you have unmuted your mic. Guys, are you writing meta description? Okay, so here's the first description. Solo travel gives you a chance to rediscover yourself. Buy solo travel packages from Pick Your Tail and unwind yourself with best deals. Nice, Ravi. But you have used only, okay, you have used two keywords. Nice. Embark on your solo travel journey and explore the world on your own. You decide, we provide. Book your solo travel packages at the best price from Pick Your Tail. Very nice. Book thrilling solo travel packages for Europe. It's not Europe, Santosh. It can be any place in the world. We have not mentioned any Europe anywhere on this page. Book thrilling solo travel packages for Europe. Get amazing early bird discount for solo booking solo travel packages now. Can would you want to revise it, Santosh, a bit? Book thrilling. Okay, it's not. Go solo. Go solo because YOLO. What is this? Solo packages for the souls that are in search for adventures. Your description doesn't include any of the keywords, Kumar, and it's not for Europe. Guys, don't misunderstand it with Europe. I have not mentioned Europe anywhere on this page. Pick your solo travel packages from Pick Your Trail. Get the awesome solo packages for you. Buy solo packages to travel your dream place. That's nice. Solo travel gives awesome pleasure to people finding solitude. Travel packages for such an amazing tour are ready with Pick Your Trail. Book now and start discovering yourself in this beautiful world. That's nice, Rajesh. Then next is by Anand. Best prices for solo travel packages available here. Travel solo around the world safely in luxury. Call today and start traveling the world. Okay, Shreya solo travel packages. Traveling by yourself is an experience like none other. It allows you to enjoy a destination on your own term. Take a solo trip and you need not be solo for long. Nice, Shreya. Book best deal from Pick Your Reel before it ends. Shreya, your description will be liked by singles mostly. Okay, next is by Somi Shubra, solo travel tours and packages, flights and more for independent and solo travelers, experienced and knowledgeable staff, especially for solo travelers. Request a free trip quote. Okay, next is by Santosh. Book solo travel packages for your favorite destinations. Get amazing early bird discount for solo booking solo travel packages now. Okay, that's nice. All right. So I guess all of you are clear with writing meta descriptions also and where it has to be added. Remember the tag is a standard. You cannot change anything in the tag. It has to be added within the inverted comma after this content. Okay, and meta description tag ends here. It does not have a separate ending like title. It ends with a slash inside the tag itself. No, you don't have to. The title and descriptions are two different entities, Santosh. You cannot include your title in the description. Okay, so this is how you need to write meta description. Now, if you remember, I told you that head section, whatever you write in head section is not visible to user, right? So I meant by not being visible on page. Now, as a user, you cannot see title and description anywhere on the page because it is written in the head section. But this will be visible on a search result page. Okay, so you can control the what you are showing in search result page. You can control that with the help of these two tags. Shall we move to the next HTML tag now? So this is where you need to use keyword in the title and description. Now we'll look at a few more tags, uh, but these tags are mostly used in body section. Okay, one of the tag that we use where we can use keyword and that has to be added in the body section is h1 tag, and it has a closing also. Now what is h1? H1 is main heading of the page. If you look at this page, or let me go to an internal page. If you look at this page, the main heading of the page, the main heading of the page will be this Australia tour packages, right? Because this page is providing tour packages for Australia. So that will be my main heading. When we start writing content in a Word file, you start the content with a heading. Similarly, there should be a main heading for every web page also. And this there is only one rule to. There are two rules to write main heading of the page. First rule is the main heading should have primary keyword only. So if I have to write main heading for road trips page, my primary keyword here is international road trip from India. So I will add my main heading as I will write my main heading as this only, international road trip from India. If my primary keyword here is Europe travel packages, then my main heading for Europe page will be Europe travel packages only. Okay. And second rule is your main heading should be written in a certain HTML tag, which is H1. Okay, this H1 tag. Inside, between opening and closing of HTML tag, you need to write your main heading. Europe travel packages. Okay. This is how you need to write your main heading or H1. So if I check this heading, the tag for this heading by right click, inspect element, we want to see if it is written in H1 or not. Is it written in H1? Is the tag written in H1? Oh, sorry, is the heading, it is written in H1 tag. Okay, so this is where you can use your keyword in the main heading. Apart from this, there is another tag, HTML tag, which is used for hyperlinking purpose. So if you want to link any tag, if you want to attach link to any text, right, or if you want to hyperlink any text, then there is a certain tag to add hyperlink. That tag is ahref. The standard format of writing this tag is like this. Okay, this is opening of ahref and this is closing of ahref. Inside this inverted comma, you need to, before this, I'll explain this. The place in between of opening and closing tag, here you need to add keyword or the text that you where you want to add hyperlink. Uh, href is used to add hyperlinks to a text mega. Here if you look at packages, packages is a text and there is a link attached to this text. If you click this link, it will take you to the packages common page like this, right? So we have hyperlinked the text packages here. So in order to hyperlink, you need to add hyperlink in a certain tag and that tag is called ahref tag. In between opening and closing of this tag, you need to write the text where you want to hyperlink. So we want to hyperlink packages. So I will write packages word packages. Yes, I will write packages word in between opening and closing of tag. And inside this inverted comma, you need to add a link that you want to attach to this text. So the link here is packages. I'll write the link here. Okay, and packages word will be hyperlinked to this URL. Okay, everybody clear with ahref? All right, then the next tag that you should know is image tag. Any image will be added inside this tag, and similar to description, the image tag will have closing inside the tag only with the backslash. Okay, now what you need to add here in the inverted comma, when you upload an image to your website server or WordPress, anywhere, if you have a CMS like WordPress or Shopify, it will give you an option to upload media, right? When you upload image using that box, your image will actually be uploaded to WordPress server. Or if you are uploading image to your website, then your image gets uploaded to your website server, and the moment it is uploaded, it will be converted to a URL, image URL, something like this. So here is the image URL for this particular image. The moment it is converted to image URL, you need to copy this URL and paste in the inverted comma. Okay, give me a minute please. So this is the tag to add image, HTML tag to add image. Inside the inverted comma, you need to place your image link. Okay, everybody clear with the image tag? Yes, image link will be auto generated. Santosh. So what you can do, if your website is in WordPress, you can go to media. See, guys, one thing you should know, you don't have to do all this coding. Why we have added this HTML as a part of your SEO module is so that you are able to make it clear to the developer. If tomorrow you have to ask your developer to add something in title tag, and if developer does not know where to add the title tag, you should be able to tell this to the developer that this is the tag that you need to add that, and this is where you need to add the tag. Okay, in case of sites like WordPress, Shopify, Wix, all these platforms, you don't have to do coding. You don't have to pay attention to coding at all, right? It will be auto edit. Everything will be auto generated. But you should still be aware with the tag. Okay. For your knowledge purpose, we have added this HTML as a if we have made this a part of your SEO module. Okay, so Santosh, you may not be asked to add image like this, writing a proper tag and then add the image. But for knowledge purpose, I was telling that image URL should be added here in the inverted comma. And this is the image tag. Now, inside this image tag, there is a way to optimize your images for Google image search, right? People want to appear their images, they want their images to appear in Google search. How you can make your images appear in Google search? Inside the image tag, imgsrc tag, you can add a subset, a sub tag. You can add a sub tag as alt. Alt is equal to inverted comma. And inside the inverted comma, you need to write your image. What is the image about? So my image is about Australia, right? It is about Opera House. Or let's say my image is about Australia tour packages. So that keyword I will mention in my alt tag. Australia tour packages. So why do we need to add alt tag? Two things. One is alt tag is readable by Googlebot, because by looking at the URL, Google may not understand by what the image is about. So in that case, alt tag will help. With the help of alt tag, Google will associate your image with this keyword. And second thing is, if the connection, internet connection on users end is slow, then before loading this image, your alt tag will appear. So user will understand what you are showing here. Okay, so inside the image you can add another sub tag, which is alt tag, and inside the alt tag you can add keyword related to your image. That's how you optimize your images for Google search, image search also. Yes, not naming the image, associating image with the name. So in many cases there is no provision um, on technology, and there is no provision to name your images correctly, Rohit. Here the name is correct, but in many cases images can have random things, random characters or random numbers like this. And it is difficult to rename those images also. So in that case, your alt tag will help you to optimize your images for Google search. You can do that. I'm saying in many, so website like Flipkart, they upload millions of products every day. So it is very difficult to name, and for one image there are 4 or 5 pictures, right, with different angles. So it is difficult to name every image. It will slow down the speed of product upload. So they generally don't pay attention to the images, name of images. But this can be done programmatically. You can ask your developer to add alt tag by default. So alt can help you to optimize image instead of names. Okay, is everybody clear with all these tags? H1, ahref, img, src. Guys, is everybody clear? All right, so to repeat, we can use keyword within the meta title, within meta description, within h1 tag, within ahref, within img src tag, and there is one more place where you can use keyword. uh, you need to add content to every page that you want to optimize for Google. So for example, here is the content piece. Now this content has to be relevant to, sorry, this content has to be unique. You should not copy the content from other resources. It should be originally written and it should be well explanatory. So the content should generally mention what you're providing on a page. Okay, and it has to provide some information to the user also. So this page is about Australia packages, but we are not writing only about Australia packages. We are also giving information on best time to go, why they should travel, how is the visa done, right? Lot of information we are providing. And the content is written in a paragraph format, right? In order to write content in paragraph format, there is a certain tag called P tag. P stands for paragraph. And there is a closing of paragraph tag also. Inside this P tag, you need to write your content that you want to write as a paragraph, right? And then if you want to start another paragraph, you again start P tag. And between the opening and closing of P tag, you add your next piece of paragraph. Okay? Yes, I'll go through slides now, Ravi. So these are all the tags, basic tags that you should know. And now you know where all you can use keywords also. Now we will go to the slide. Okay, 1 second, guys. No, that is heading tag H1, H2, H3. So for subheading, you can use hierarchy H2, H3 like that. Instead of H1, if you want to add another, let's say, subheading to this paragraph, you can write in H2. That can include another heading. And then if you want to give third heading, it can be H3. But H1 is the most important heading of the page. Okay. Alright, now we will go through slides. I'll not explain slides now because we have learned almost everything, but we'll just quickly move through the slides. Can you hear me, guys? Okay. Now, apart from HTML, we will not learn CSS. I have asked DV team to remove these slides because they are of no importance to SEO. But I'll tell you what is CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. Cascading Style Sheet. We It is mostly used for styling the document, styling the page. What do we mean by styling? Uh, Styling is anything. So if it's the position or the alignment of an element, also the color of an element, the size of a font or the color of a font, right? So here the logo is in left align, right? So that is the styling of this page. Here the font size is big, like 14 pixel or 12 pixel, and it is written in gray color. And when you bring the mouse over on hover, it becomes black. So this is a styling of this text, right? Then here the tag is in pink color, sorry, red color. That is a styling. It is a part of styling. Here everything is written in caps. That is a part of styling, right? So any styling that you want to define anywhere on your page has to be defined in a file called css, right? Inside the html, if you define styling, let's say style is equal to, and then here you are writing font family Verdana, right? So it will be very long. It will make the code very long. Defining element, styling element in every, sorry, defining styling in every element will make the code, overall code very long. So as a good practice, we use a common file called CSS file where we define all these style elements together. Okay. So that is what the purpose of CSS file is. Clear? Is everybody clear with CSS purpose? And then there is a certain file type called JavaScript. Now, JavaScript files are generally, they consist code where any action is required. What do we mean by action? There is this customize button. Right now we have hyperlinked customized button to itinerary page, but earlier there used to be a form. So if you click on customize, a form used to open, a pop-up used to open, which consists that had a form. So there was an action that you have to, if you, the action was clicking this customize button and opening the pop-up. That was an action. So any action that you want to define on a page has to be defined in a certain file called JavaScript file. Okay, JavaScript file. It is called js.js file also. So any action that has to be defined should be defined in the script tag or JS file. For if you don't want to define all actions together in .js file, you can write them separately on a page using this kind of tag, script tag. Now here is a chat, right? Chat also requires an action. Now we will see how this chat is added. Can you see this? So there are a lot of JavaScripts defined. Yes, right, Santosh. Right. Can you see these script tags? These are not, all of these are not for chat, but they are for multiple purposes. But can you see the script tags here? Guys, can you see the script tags here? It starts with script and ends with a slash also. So each of these tags are defining a separate action, right? For example, this is the script for a sticky sidebar, which is used for this chat. Okay. So any function should needs to be defined inside this script tag or .js file. And one thing which is important to know is whatever written is written inside the script tag. I repeat, whatever you write inside the script tag is not crawlable by Googlebot. Okay, so remember, you don't add any important link in script tag. So if you want to add an important piece of content, then always add it outside the script tag but not inside the tag. Okay, why? Because Google cannot scroll the content that is written inside the script. Now, what else? Outside is anywhere in the code, anywhere. So, for example, here, let's say in between paragraph, you have added a paragraph in the script tag. It may not happen like this, but to show you an example, I'm doing this. Let's say you have written something here, right? Now this piece of content is written inside the script tag, so it will not be crawlable by Googlebot. But if you want this to be crawled by Google, you need to move it outside the script tag like this. Okay. So these three slides are about a script. I don't think it is important to know so much about script. It will be too technical. You can go through these slides later on. They are just theoretical things. So it's 11:40, and we have discussed we have discussed this HTML slide and some part of on-page SEO also, title, description, all of that. We will now have a break for 20 minutes, and then we'll be back by 12:05. So we add all the CSS, JS, we add in HTML file only. So these are separate files. CSS is a separate file, .css file, and JS is also a separate file, .js file. And all these files should not be visible to user. User does not need to know if you have added defined style in a CSS file or action in a JS file, right? So you can add the URLs of these files inside the head tag, in the head tag portion. So like this, like this. So using this, like this, you can define the files. It says style sheet, and this is added in the head section. Okay, and script is also being defined in the head section. Guys, before going on break, I want to know if all of you are understanding, like, or if you have understood whatever we have learned so far. Yes, only links of those files. So inside the file, everything is defined. So you just need to provide the link of those files. All right, so let's have a break and let's be back by 12:05. Okay. All right, guys. Hi, is everybody back? Okay, let's start then. Now we will look at a few on-page basics. Before that, we learned HTML basics. Now we'll look at on-page basics. We will look at basics that includes content, tags. This portion we have already seen. Internal linking, crawling, and what to avoid. On-page, as I told you, is all about optimizing your site internally. And on-page includes all these: content, HTML, and architecture. So far we have learned the HTML part. Now we'll look at content part, and if time permits, we will also look at architectural part of it. Content, as it's all of us know, content is very important. One wrong messaging and your site will be gone, right? It will not be liked by user, it will not be liked by search engine, not be liked by industry experts, right? So make sure the content that you have added on your site is giving the right message to user and to bot also. The content should be detailed, should cover almost everything related to a topic and relevant to your site. How you can cover everything related to a topic by following hub and spoke model. What is hub and spoke model? We'll look at through this example. My site is about weight loss. Now, my only purpose or my only aim for improving my website traffic or for improving my website users would be to create an authority around weight loss. So what I'll do, what will my practice would be? My practice would be to cover each and every topic that talks about weight loss or that provides information about weight loss. And within the topics, I'll try to cover every trend that is there running in the market. If the trend is about giving advice by good dietitians, I'll cover that topic. If the trend is about breaking the myth that people have for weight loss, I'll write for that. If the trend is about listicles like 8 foods, top 10 tips, top 5 tips, top 5 ideas, if the trend is about listicles, I'll write that. And anything exercise related, weight loss, anything. So I'll try to cover every damn topic about weight loss. So in this case, weight loss, which is the core theme, core topic of my site, this becomes a hub page. Hub, okay? This is a hub. And the topics that I'll be covering around weight loss becomes the spoke. Okay? Now this hub and spoke also falls under categorization and mind mapping. So how we did mind mapping? We researched a few keywords for pick your trail. Now in these keywords there is a pattern. You will notice a pattern in all these keywords, or you will notice a few pattern in all these keywords. These set of keywords are talking about international travel or international trip. This set of keyword is talking about road trips. This set of keyword is talking about family travel. And this set of keyword is also talking about road trips. Now you know there is a common pattern between all these keywords. Based, we will the key is to identify those patterns and create mind map around those patterns. So few patterns that we identified is international travel, road trip, and family trip. Right? Those who wanted to know mind map, I'm explaining it now because it is related to hub and spoke model also. Right? Are you have you understood this? You need to identify the various patterns. Your keywords will always revolve around a pattern. Guys, I am expecting an answer. Have you understood why that how these patterns we identified out of all these keywords? Right? Now, you have this pattern, you need to break it down further. For example, if we talk about your road trips, these road trips, the road trip is for Europe also, for London also, for Malaysia also, USA also, and Canada also. Now you cannot, what insight that you will be giving for a Europe page, you cannot use the same insight for USA page. Can you? Can you use same insight for Europe and USA page both? You can't, right? So the targeting, keyword targeting will be different, right? So in that case, you will have to create two different pages inside road trips, right? So road trip will be your main category, and inside road trip, you will create subcategory as Europe, London, Malaysia, USA, and Canada. Is that clear? Is that clear? So what you will do, these are your main categories in first row. In second row, you are writing subcategories: London, Canada, USA, Malaysia, Europe. If you want, you can further make London a subcategory of Europe, right? Because Europe is a region and London is a sub-region, right? If you want, you can do like this, but then inside road trips, your second level category will be Canada, USA, Malaysia, and Europe, right? Similarly, if you look at international travel, it talks about international road trip. Again, it will go in road trip. You already have that. This talks about travel agency. This talks about travel agents. This talks about travel packages. Now, out of these three keywords, international travel agency and travel agents and travel packages, travel agency and agent is the same thing, right? Anybody who owns a travel agency is a travel agent, apparently, right? So you can merge these two. You can use both the keywords in one page, and but you cannot use agency for travel packages. So what you will do, you will break it down to subcategory as agency and packages, right? So this being your main category, and these are your subcategories now, which are two different pages. Right here, road trip is your main category, and all these are your subcategories, different pages. Now, family trip. How will you break down family trip? Let me put it together. Okay, we have only these. How will you break it down, guys? If I have to create subcategory inside family trip, what should be the subcategories? Tell me. Destination, right? Agency, correct? And packages, right? So you will break it down to destination, agency, and packages, right? Here, Chennai, India from Santosh. That is from international trip from India from Chennai. That you can use for here also. So destination will be Europe Inside destination, you will again create sub pages like London and Europe. So, for example, let me just move it down. So, inside destination, you will have Europe, you will have USA, you will have Australia, and you will have New Zealand, let's say, right? Now, here you will target when you are targeting, when you are writing title, in the title you can write from India. So family trip to Europe from India. Okay, but you don't have to write Chennai, Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, because the searches will be as low as 10 for those kind of keywords. Family trip to Europe from Chennai, from Delhi, from Mumbai will be very low. So you don't need to put effort there. You need to put effort from India. And that you can easily incorporate on this page, Europe page. Okay. So very simple. You need to identify the common pattern in the keyword. Make the common pattern your main category or main topic, then break it down further. Try to find a subset of the pattern, which is like agency, packages, Canada, USA, Malaysia. Subset means you cannot use text of one subset to another one. That will be subset. If content that you'll write for international travel agent can be used for international travel agency also. So it can ideally be one content piece for both the keywords, right? And when you create subset, you will consider them as two different pages or as different separate pages. This is called mind mapping. Is everybody clear now with mind mapping? Because if you're clear with mind mapping, then only I can explain hub and spoke. Rohit? Okay. Now, if you're clear with mind mapping, then I want to tell you that in this case, these three are your hub pages and these are your spoke pages. What do we mean by hub page? You are trying to build authority in international travel. You are trying to build authority in road trip. You are trying to build authority in family trip. So basically, what do we mean by authority? We are trying to make such we are trying to make such scenario that whenever somebody is talking about family trip outside India, they should think of Picure Trail, be it for any destination, be it for any type of packages, or be it any agency. Okay, they should think about Picure Trail. So we are trying to build authority in a hub page or in a topic, main topic called family trip. So in order to create an authority for family trip, you first need to cover the spoke pages. You need to build reputation for these subsets. Okay, and it is a chain reaction. It is a bottom to bottom up approach. Once you try to rank on all these, you will slowly start moving to the rank for main topic family trip. Okay, so this is the hub and spoke model also. This is what this weight loss exam diagram is also explaining. In order to rank, weight loss is a very broad keyword and it has very high competition, very high searches, right? So it is not easy to optimize for weight loss. So we should always take the bottom up approach. We will try to rank for these first, and slowly once we build a rank on these kind of topics, Google will consider that this site or this category is about weight loss, and slowly Google will start giving us importance for the focus keywords as well. That is the whole theory, concept of hub and spoke model or mind mapping. Now tell me if everybody is clear with both the things. If you can relate mind mapping to hub and spoke. Okay. So, in order to create content, obviously your content writer plays an important role. So you need to accordingly tell the content writer that when you are writing about Europe destination for family trip, make sure the content is revolving around family trips and not road trips, right? Why? Because for road trip, Europe road trip, we have separate page. So all these guidelines you need to give to the writer. Now, this content also helps you to create page quality rating. What do we mean by page quality rating? Google assigns, I told you, page rank. Google also, with the help of page rank, Google or the content, Google gives quality rating to every page. And rating will be mostly in these five categories. You should focus on getting the rating for these two categories. Okay. You cannot seek rating. I mean, there is no tool that will show you if the page is meeting the fully met rating or highly met rating or not. But you can get the hint if your rank starts improving in search engine, that means your page rating is also improving. And it mostly depends on the type of content that you are covering on your website. As I had just given an example, if on a family trip, Europe destination page, you are talking about road trip also, and you don't have a page on road trip, you're talking about road trip mostly on your family trip page, then it is a wrong approach, right? And you will not be able to improve your rating in that case. So it is always a good practice to create a separate page for a separate topic, right? And the more topics you cover related to the theme of your website, the better your rating would be. Now, when we're talking about rating, you should also know that Google uh, considers a few sites as an exception when it comes to rating. For example, news websites are considered, they are taken as an exception because news should be the same, right? You cannot tweak news much. So in that case, keeping the content unique is itself is a challenge. So in that case, Google doesn't consider the duplicity of content in case of news, right? But there are a certain type of website where Google is very strict with the page quality rating. And these type of sites are known as, or pages are known as YMYL pages, which is your money, your life. So mind map is about categorization, the content based on audience categorized. Content based, Santosh. Not audience, content based. Yeah, so these pages are known as Your Money, Your Life. Any page that is asking you for your bank details or money related details, or any page that is affecting your life in a certain manner, are known as Your Money, Your Life pages. E-commerce sites, they ask you to do transaction, right? E-commerce site are, they fall under Your Money, Your Life pages. Bank websites fall under Your Money, Your Life pages. What else? Um, Payment gateways, they fall under Your Money, Your Life. Then any website that is giving advice to you, for example, life advice, if a site is, or if some there is an expert is giving life advice, then that website of that expert will fall under YMYL pages, Your Life pages, right? Medical information, they ask you to upload, many a times they ask you to upload a prescription. So they are taking the information what they ask you to upload reports also. So they are collecting your medical information, so they will fall under Your Money, Your Life pages. No, ranking, we are not talking about the ranking here. Ranking will work in the same manner for all the pages, Ravi, but you cannot, the chance of leaving a certain thing from optimization is minimal in this case, because YMYL pages are affecting users' life in one way or the other. So Google is very strict. So if it is about updating meta title, you cannot skip that. You need to update meta title, right? You cannot leave the content part also. You have to work on content. You cannot leave description part. You cannot leave architecture, categorization, all of that. You need to pay attention to every each and every element equally. Okay. So if your website is a YMYL, make sure you optimize your website from every aspect. If you are a blog, if you have a blog, let's say lifestyle blog, you just write about let's say home decor tips or how best you can shop, all of that, you are not falling under YMYL because you are not collecting any of users information in that case, right? So these are the differences between YMYL pages and non YMYL pages. Then these YMYL pages also have to go through the 8 criteria. What is EAT criteria? E stands for expertise, A stands for authoritativeness, and T stands for trustworthiness. So, with the help of EAT criteria, you can increase your rating. Um, in case of expertise, if you are a doctor or an author, book writer, make sure you have given your certification, you have uploaded your certification or any kind of proof on your website. So if you see doctors, they generally add badges to their certifications on their website. So that shows that they have expertise in a certain domain. No, no, Santosh. Marketing blog that is collecting subscribers' email will not be YMYL. But if it asks you to give your phone number, your name, your email, everything, okay, let me see. Email cannot be, see, people can have fake email IDs also, right? But phone number cannot be fake. Genuine details are considered as phone, name, date of birth, banking details. All these are considered as, um, what do you say, personal details. Okay, so E stands for expertise, then A stands for authoritativeness. So in order to show your authority in your domain, you need to update your about us page, which should explain about your company or organization or you as a person. You should also upload testimonials on your website because it shows the authoritativeness. It shows that people actually have taken your services or products and they are really impacted by your services in a positive manner. So that also adds to the authoritativeness. And whatever awards recognition you have, it's good to have. It's not just good from search engines perspective, but it is good from users perspective also. So why do people care for TripAdvisor so much? And if you notice, a lot of website, they also add TripAdvisor badge as authority symbol. They say we are rated as 5 by TripAdvisor, and they add those badges to their website. So their TripAdvisor has built such authority, or those hotels' websites have built such authority by adding TripAdvisor badge, right? So it adds to the authoritativeness. You should not miss out on these points. And third is trustworthiness. In case of trustworthiness, make sure you have enough mentions from reputable sites. For example, social media, you have a company page, but you don't have a Facebook page in current scenario. Will you trust such website or will you trust such service site that does not have a Facebook page? No, right? Because we know if there is a Facebook page, we can approach to them if in case they are falling back on their like they are not giving 100% satisfaction to a customer. They can easily approach to their Facebook Messenger, put them a message on Facebook or Twitter, right? So it adds the trustworthiness to the company. Similarly, if you read an article in a newspaper about a company, a good article in a newspaper, you get influenced, right? And it adds to the trust. Yes, Rajesh. So, and it adds to the trust also. So, if you build, if you pass EAT criteria, then you can increase your page quality rating a lot. Now, again, to add to the content point, it is also important to keep updating your content. A very good example of this, why do we need to keep updating content? Because Google prefers fresh content, Google prefers freshness. How many of you have shopped from Amazon? In fact, my question should be how many of you have never shopped from Amazon? Because I think most of you have done, right? If you have noticed, every product page of Amazon has a question answer section and a review section, right? Why do they have question answer and review section? Um, any ideas, any inputs on that? What is the need of having both the sections? Solve users query to build trust, credibility, answer queries. Right. It helps users to get their queries answered, right? I am yesterday I bought this OnePlus 6 and I had a lot of queries on OnePlus 6 whether it comes with wireless charging or not, how is the notch display, a lot of questions I had. So before asking questions I immediately went to the question answer section of Amazon and my all my queries got answered from there, right? And with the help of review I got the reviews, real reviews. No, but you cannot fake out Amazon reviews. So it adds to the credibility, right, of and it also adds to the, it helps with the buying decision of a user. And because it is so important for user and they are adding, a lot of people they keep on posting something or the other on the product pages, like I am a user, I have a question query for a product that is not being asked yet, so I'll add my query, I'll add my question and somebody will answer. Now this question answer and review thing also helps adding freshness to every product page of Amazon. It is helping user and it is also helping search engine bot. So these are a few ideas to keep adding freshness to your pages. If you have noticed, a lot of website, in fact a lot of blogs have discuss comment column. They do have Facebook comment column. So whatever comments people are posting on Facebook, they automatically appear on their blog pages, right? Why do they have to add this comment section? To add the freshness on the page. So freshness is very important. Google also prefers fresh content. We have discussed a couple of ideas to add fresh content. Wherever possible, you should also try implementing this freshness part on your website. And this is a very important thing, vertical search. Today we don't just optimize for this text search, right? We don't just optimize site for this text-based search. We should also focus on optimizing the site for images and video section of Google as well. So we had just seen, where is my document? I was just explaining this, that in order to optimize your images for Google image search, you should have alt tag, right? So at the same time, it is also good to add image within the content. So here my content is only text based, right? It's only text based. But if you look above, I have also given images, although they are redundant, but I have given images also, so user can get idea how New Zealand look, oh sorry, Australia looks, right? And with the help of these images, if I optimize them well, if I add proper alt tag to each of these images, then I have chance to appear with the same page. I can appear in Google image search also. Now this is a common user behavior. If I'm trying to go to a place for, if I'm planning a travel to a place, I want to look at the picture of those places, how the place looks. So before even text based search, I'll go to image based search. And if my page, this page is coming in image, I can immediately go to this page, see how Australia looks, and then book the package also. So it is solving both of my purposes. So always try to optimize the image and video content as well. Google Map also, if you have a physical business, you have a physical location, you have a shop or a store or something, you can list your business with Google Business and then you can start appearing in Google Map. This portion of Google Business listing is a part of our off-page session, which is next week. So I'll explain you how you can list your business to Google Local Business. YouTube video optimization you can do with the help of title and description that YouTube asks you to add. So these two things we will look at in the next week's session. And this is another way to write a good content. Try writing your content in a question answer format. Make the headings of your content as WH or how to headings. If you look at this content, we have written what you should know about, right? Best time to go, know where to go. So try adding questions as heading and then your answer, write a detailed answer that will serve as an answer, sorry, write a detailed content that will serve as an answer to this question. So what we are discussing right now are few best practices to write really remarkable content that helps not just users but search engines as well. Everybody clear with the content? I hope I was not very fast. This I'm skipping because we have already discussed this. I generally include this portion with HTML because that is the right flow. Now we will talk about crawling part. If you remember during the first session, I told you the three functions of a search engine. Can somebody name those three functions to me? The three functions of a search engine. Third function, guys, you are not naming the third function correctly. Very good, Rajesh. The three functions are are crawling, indexing, and ranking or answering the search query, right? We will now look at the crawling part. If you remember, I told you that there is a way to control what pages Google should crawl and what it should not crawl. Do you remember that? So I will explain that to you here. Um, I'll put the same example again. Let's say Google has given a crawl budget of 2 seconds to your website. Every day Google will come or Google is coming only for 2 seconds to your website. Now in that 2 second, it is always good to crawl all the important pages of your site and not to crawl the unimportant pages of your site, right? Which is called the optimizing crawl budget. We will look at how we can optimize crawl budget now. So there are two things that can help you to optimize your crawl budget. First thing is there are basically two files that can help you to optimize scroll budget. The first file is robots.txt. What is robots.txt file? It's a simple notepad file that is named as robots.txt. This file is uploaded on your website server with a certain command. This file has a few commands and you upload this file on your website server. Okay. Now, when Googlebot or any search engine crawler comes to your server, and if this file exists there, then this will be the first file that the crawler will go through. Okay, I repeat, before moving to any of your web page, if this file exists, then Googlebot will go through this file first. Why? Because it is a notepad file and it will load faster than any web page of yours. Okay, so Googlebot is likely to visit this file first. Now, what this file contains, one second, let me save this. Guys, do you need this? Do you want me to share this file with you? Like, shall I ask the coordinator to share this HTML document? Okay, I'll do that. We will now look at robots.txt file. So this is a notepad file. Robots.txt file starts with the command user agent. Okay, and start. This is a common command. Now, what is user agent? User agent is basically anything that is requesting a site. Okay, anything that is requesting a site. Now, I open Picture here, or forget about Picture. Let's say I open Lonely Planet. Okay, this is the site, and this is my Chrome browser. I have opened Lonely Planet in my Chrome browser. So a request would have gone to server to open this site. Now, server is a machine. It will tell me if it will identify me or it will identify my browser. Tell me. The server will identify the user or user's browser. Wrong. It will identify both. It cannot look at me, but it can track my IP. Right? So with the help of IP, so it basically tracks, it basically identifies user on the basis of its IP, right? And the platform that I am using to open this site is a browser. So it will identify the browser also, right? But at the first place, who requested the site? The user requested the site. So the IP of the user becomes the user agent. Okay, clear? User agent. This user agent, Rohit. So user agent is basically somebody who's requesting the site from server, right? So what we are writing in the first command, uh, and star here in coding language, star denotes all. Okay, so this command says any all user agents are allowed to read the file robots.txt. Okay, all user agents are allowed to read the commands that is written in the robots.txt. It knows browser is identifiable by server, Santosh. This is technology. Every browser is identified, can be identified by any server. Server identifies a lot of things. It identifies the resolution also. It identifies the device type also. Whether it is a mobile or a desktop, everything. Data packets. I'm not that technical. It will, Rohit, but it will not visit sitemap. It will visit node robots.txt first. No, server here is website server, the server of Lonely Planet, Santosh. If you visit Google, then Google server. So any website that you are visiting, the server of that website. Okay? Yes, Rohit. I'm coming to that, Santosh. Give me a minute. So is everybody clear with the user agent command? Tell me that first, then I'll move to the next thing. Okay. Now, as a user, I have accessed Lonely Planet, requested the site Lonely Planet to server. So based on my IP, server will understand I am a user. But Google visits website with the help of what? What helps Google to crawl the sites? Tell me. What helps Google to identify or any search engine to read the site or crawl the site? Come on, it's a very simple question. Very good. Crawler. Right? Spider. No, spider, Anuradha. Crawler. Remember, I told last week that every search engine has a crawler that crawls the site. Remember? So, what is Google's crawler name? What is the name of Google crawler? Googlebot, right? So if Googlebot is accessing this website, is requesting this website from Lonely Planet server, Googlebot cannot open the site in a browser and then visit the site, right? It directly goes to server of the site and requests the site from the server directly. So in that case, who becomes a user agent? Who is a user agent in that case? In case of Google, who is a user agent? Yes, Googlebot is a user agent, right? So with the help of mentioning star, we are telling that any type of user agent is allowed to read the file, the commands in robots.txt file. Okay, if you mention Googlebot and then write a certain command, that means those commands should be read only by Googlebot, should be read and followed only by Googlebot. But that doesn't mean that users cannot request the site. Remember, we are writing this command here to so that the user agents are allowed to read the commands, read and follow the commands. It has nothing to do with the site visit. Remember that. Don't confuse. Okay? It will be clear now. What am I saying? It will be clear now. Now, second command here is disallow. What is disallow? If there are certain pages on your site that you don't want any search engine bot to crawl. Okay. First of all of you should know that robots.txt file is only meant for search engine crawlers. It has nothing to do with user. Even if you don't upload notepad robots.txt file, user will not get affected. Okay, you upload or not upload, user will not get affected in any manner. But what commands you mention in robots.txt file will be followed by search engine crawlers. So ideally, robots.txt file is meant for search engine crawlers. These commands are for crawlers to follow, Santosh. These commands are for crawlers to follow when it is coming to the our website server. Start user agent can be any crawler, right? It can be Google bot, Google for mobile, Google has another bot, Google bot for mobile, Yahoo bot, Bing bot, right? So it is very difficult to mention commands for every crawler, right? So instead you'll just write star. Now, in disallow, there are certain pages on your site that you don't want Google bot to crawl or any search engine bot to crawl. So you will mention those pages in the disallow command. What do we mean by pages? I cannot think of any such page, so I'm randomly writing some pages. So let's say there is on my website, there is a URL pickyourtrail.com. Sorry. Then there is a page packages. Then there is a page users. Then there is another page user ABC, or let's say user Divya. Uh, let's say ABC, right? Right now, out of all these pages, do you think there is any page that we can avoid from crawling? Anybody who thinks that all pages should be crawled, all pages should be ranked, crawled and ranked? Right. User pages can be avoided, right? Why? Because these are users' personal pages. They are user dashboards, and you may not want to make those public, right? If you don't block them from crawling, Google might show those pages in rank as well. So you don't want to show these pages in rank, right? And to not to show in rank, you need to block these pages from Googlebot scrolling, right? Now, all user pages you want to block from bot scrolling. So instead of mentioning URL for every page, you can just mention the common name, which is users, this directory. This is a directory, and then these are pages. So what you can do, you can mention, well, you don't have to write website name, you have to mention the page name with the slash. So you will mention user slash and then star. Okay. Can somebody read this command? What does this command say? Disallow means not crawl, not allowed to crawl. Can somebody tell me the definition of this entire command except Rohit? Crawl, Mega, crawl, not read, crawl. There is a difference between reading and crawling. Rohit, I asked you to not to reply because I know you know the answer. Very good, very good. So we are telling that bot, any search engine bot, I know you know the answer, Rohit. Anyway, Any search engine bot should not crawl any page that has user slash. Okay, that means we are telling any all search engine bots to not to crawl any user pages, right? Now if there are more than such directories, more than one such directories, let's say there is a page for agents also, right? Every agent has their own dashboard, so instead of user, let's say agents. We do have agents pages also. So what you will do, you want to disallow this directory also. So you will add another disallow command in a separate row and type agents. Okay. So this is what disallow command does. Is everybody clear with the command? Now there is another command called allow. Now let's say you want only agents pages to rank in Google, not any other search engine, but only in Google. Yes, you can disallow any page, Santosh, any page. Let's say you want to open agents pages only for Google because you want them to rank, because these agents they are local agent and you are trying to cover local search queries, travel agents in Chennai. So you want these agent pages to appear in Google. You don't want them to appear in Yahoo, Bing, anywhere, but only in Google. Okay. Let's say you want to do that. You want to allow agents pages only for Google. So what you will do, uh, this will remain intact. You will type another user agent, and instead of star, you will mention Googlebot, because these instructions or this command is only meant for Google. And instead of disallow, you will allow. So if I have to read overall robots file, it says all user agents should not crawl user pages, should not crawl agent pages, but Googlebot can crawl agent pages. Now here Googlebot is included here also. So we are giving two commands to Googlebot. One through this, where we are asking Googlebot to not crawl user pages, and one command is this, where we are asking Googlebot to crawl agent pages. Okay, everybody clear? Is everybody clear? This is like some science logic. You just need to understand the logic. I am not getting response from everyone. Oh my god, who's this? What is the difference between robots is a file, Googlebot is a crawler? Santosh. Robots.txt is a file. It's a name of a file. This file you will save as robots.txt and you will upload this file. This file is meant for bots, crawlers. And Googlebot is a crawler, right? Is that what you were asking, Santosh? Yes, you can do that. You can do that. You can create and upload this file. If you have to give certain instruction, we are discussing how we can optimize scroll budget properly, how we can stop search engine bots to not to crawl the unnecessary pages of the site, so that you can define here. That's the reason we need, if there is no such page that should not be crawled, let's say, then you don't need robots file. No, Googlebot won't be confused, Anuradha, because the instructions are very clear. You are asking Googlebot to not to crawl this, but you are asking Googlebot to crawl this. No, for particular page, you should not end it with slash. Just mention the page name. And you don't have to mention star also if it is just one page. Rohit. Santosh, are you clear with the robots and bots, everything? So, so let's say there is a junk page that we created during Diwali. It does not. It has no significance now. Rajesh, this is Rohit. This is for you. It does not have any significance now. We don't want this page to appear in rank. So it will be packages slash Diwali. That's it. Ro Santosh, I gave an example that Googlebot has come only for 2 minutes, 2 seconds on your site, and within 2 seconds it crawled 50 out of 100 pages. And the 50 pages that it crawled are mostly user pages. It did not crawl package pages, it crawled only user and agents pages, or let's say user pages. So you have actually wasted Googlebot's 2 seconds by not optimizing the crawl budget properly, right? So you rather want to utilize those 2 seconds in crawling only the important pages, right? Now because these pages are not important, you can straight away go and block these pages from Googlebot's crawling using robots.txt file. That is why we need robots file. So that is what I'm saying. If there is no such page that you don't want to rank or crawl, then you cannot upload this file. But it mostly robots.txt file is useful for the sites that have user pages or dashboard pages, those kind of pages. Orphan page is the page that is not linked anywhere on the site, Rohit. You have created a new page, but you are not linked page anywhere in the navigation or anywhere. So it will not be found by user or search engine. Yes, Santosh. This will be added in this robots.txt file. If you see, the name of the file is robots.txt. It's a simple notepad file. Okay. Before I move to how we can check robots file on a website, before I move to that, I want to know if everybody is clear with the commands. Is everybody clear with the commands with robots.txt file usage, how you can create all of that? Guys, yes, no, why, and please type. It takes millisecond, not even a second. Okay. Now, this robots.txt file is open to anyone. You can check robots file for any website. How you the file name is common. Nobody can change the file name. So if I have to check robots.txt file for Lonely Planet, very simple. After slash at the end, after slash, you just need to write robots.txt. And here is the robots file for Lonely Planet. No, this is not coding, Deepak. These are just simple commands. So only three commands are there: user agent, disallow, and allow. Allow also you will not use in many cases. Most of the site they don't use allow command. So mostly sites use disallow command only. Okay. And if you're not able to do that, you can. I won't recommend tools, but you can use tools also. So this is the robots file for Lonely Planet, right? Now the next file that can help you in optimizing crawl budget is sitemap.xml. What is sitemap.xml? It is again a type of file that is uploaded on your website server. What this file does, sitemap, all of us know, it basically is a list of all pages on your website. Again, I repeat, sitemap.xml file is a list of all pages on your website that you want Googlebot to crawl. Okay. Now, if you look at it, looks like this. This is the XML. XML is again a separate language. HTML, XML, all these are coding languages. So this is how the sitemap.xml file looks. Now, what is the purpose of this file? The XML files load faster and TXT files also load faster because they don't have any styling element. There is just code or commands written in these files, no styling, nothing. So these files load faster than any other file. Okay. So what you can do, you can create an XML sitemap file and add all your important links in this file one after another. Now every XML sitemap will have a certain tag, will have certain tag, like HTML had certain tag, XML also has certain tag. Every link will be added in a tag called URL, and similar to HTML it will end with a slash also. So HTML, in HTML there was a tag head section and body section. Here every link has to start with this URL tag and will end with URL slash also. Okay. Then inside this URL there is a tag called LOC. LOC stands for location of your web page. That means URL of the page. So whatever URL you want Googlebot to crawl and rank, you can add that URL inside the LOC. The next command is last mod, which means the last modification date of the URL of the page. That means when was your page updated last. Then the third here is priority. Priority is how important the page is on your website. For example, home page is the most important page of the site. So the priority of home page will be higher. Okay. Priority will be between, the lowest priority will be 0.20 and the highest priority will be 1. So home page will always get 1 priority. And then you can, if you're not sure what priority to set, then you can, apart from home page, for all other pages you can set a default priority as 0.80. Priority helps Googlebot to understand how important or how frequently Googlebot should crawl your page. Not frequently, but how important the page is. What is the importance of the page on your site? Okay. Now, if this entire XML sitemap can be generated with the help of a tool called xml-sitemaps.com. Yes, it can be 0.50 also. So this is a tool, xml-sitemaps.com. In this tool, you need to mention your website URL for which you want to generate sitemap. I want to generate sitemap for pickyourtrail.com and click on start. Right? It is a free tool and it has a paid version also. Under free version, it will generate sitemap for up to 500 pages of your site. And paid version will generate sitemap for unlimited number of pages. Okay. Now, because it is complicated for you, it can be complicated for you to write the coding on this sitemap. You can generate the sitemap using this tool. Okay. Once the sitemap generation process is completed, this tool will give you a link to download the XML file. It takes a little time, so we will not wait for this to complete. Whenever it is completed, I will show it to you. But meanwhile, we'll move ahead. Okay. And the name of your sitemap should be this, sitemap.xml. So if you have uploaded robots.txt file and sitemap file, then trust me, Google will crawl only the important pages within the given crawl budget. Okay, so this is how you can control the pages that needs to be crawled. Yes, but it will give homepage to homepage. It will by default give priority 1, and to all other pages it will add a default priority 0.80. You can change that if you know XML. Rohit, you can change priority yourself. Anyway, it is a downloadable file, so the hard copy will be there on your system. Sorry, the soft copy will be there on your system. You can anytime change it. Tell me if everybody is clear with robots and sitemap both. Is everybody clear? Not clear? I am waiting for response. I cannot see everybody's answer. So if you have a WordPress site, Ravi, then once you just need to upload the plugin, install the plugin Yoast or all-in-one SEO, and sitemap will be auto-generated and uploaded on your website server. But if you don't have a site on WordPress, you have a developer, then you can share this file to your developer and they will upload it. Then you can just install Yoast or all-in-one SEO and your file will be generated, auto-generated. Yes, yes, it will work. I'll now, at the last, I'll explain this and then rest we will discuss in the next week session because I think this is too much for all of you. The material will be very lengthy if I explain everything. So we'll keep the rest for next session. Now so far we were talking about the good practices of SEO that you need to focus on. I want to explain 4 negative SEO practices. You should not fall into any of these practices at all. Okay. I will not have examples to show for any of these practices because sites have become very careful and they none of those or most of the sites don't fall under any of these practices. Yes, Santosh, sitemap is only for webmaster purpose. Anybody who's or the SEO person who's trying to optimize the site, sitemap.xml is meant for that. In fact, it's for crawler, not for user. Okay, so robots.txt and sitemap.xml both are meant for crawlers. Yes, Ravi, you can edit the file. Your Yoast plugin will give you an option to download a sitemap file. All right. So first of all, before explaining these, I want to tell you that if you fall into any of these negative practice, then results can be very bad. Google will penalize your site and your site will never appear or your page will not appear in search results at all. Okay, so be very careful. First negative practice is thin content. So there was an update by Google in 2012 known as Panda update. What this update did, there were a lot of sites that were involved in copied content. I'm not talking about news websites here because they are exception, but there were a lot of other sites that were involved in copying content. They used to copy content from other sites and put it on their website, and then on with the help of copied content, they used to rank. Google identified this issue and Google penalized all such websites that were involved in copying the content. Okay, so make sure you don't put a duplicate content on your website. Always put only the unique and original content. If you do that, and second thing is the content should be very detailed. Don't try to put just a small piece of content because it will not help user, it will not help search engine also, right? And if you have not paid attention to your content and the content is plagiarized, then Google will penalize you. Second practice that people used to um, use in early days of SEO was cloaking. So, what is cloaking? This happened mostly with the business website. They were showing something to user and something else to bot at the same URL. So, for example, I'm selling watches, right? I don't have any smartwatch at all, but because smartwatch keyword is in trend, what I did, I on front end on the design part, I was showing only watches to user, but when Google was reading the code, there was a mention of smartwatch also in the code. That smartwatch mention was hidden for user. It was not visible to the user, but it was visible to the bot, right? And I was not selling smartwatches at all. Do you think that is a right practice? No, right? This practice is known as cloaking. With the help of cloaking, either you are trying to fool Google or you are trying to fool user, which is not acceptable. So Google says whatever you are providing, services or products, make sure you provide the same information to user and same information to me. Don't try to mislead anybody. Then third practice is keyword stuffing. The reason I was telling while explaining meta title and description and content, the reason I was explaining that it should be written in a sentence format, natural flow or sensible sentence was so that you don't end up stuffing keyword. What do we mean by stuffing keyword? So imagine if instead of this, the title was written something like I'm writing in this file because just to give you a demo. Imagine if the title was written like this, like this, right? Imagine if the title was this. As a user, would you like this title or like the first title? Tell me. Why? Why would you like the first title, not this one? Yeah, right. So all of you have answered it correctly. The second title is full of keywords. It is only keyword stuffing. This is called keyword stuffing. You have stuffed only keyword. You are not adding any value to user, right? So that's the reason keyword stuffing is not acceptable by Googlebot also. Okay. Then the third is hidden content. We have already spoken about hidden content in cloaking example. Another example of hidden content is when you make your text white so that it blends with the page background. So what happens in that case? The text gets hidden from user's eye. Okay. Don't fall into such. Oh, sorry. Don't fall into such practices. Don't try to hide content from user, okay? And if you do that, you might fall under penalty. So these are a few negative SEO practices that you should avoid while doing SEO. Tell me if anybody is not clear with any of the practices, any concept, any file, anything. And I hope mind mapping is also clear now. We move to question answers now, and I would request all of you to submit this feedback form and you can start asking questions. Guys, can you hear me? Nobody's responding. Nobody's saying anything. How to check? Oh yes. How to check? Very good thing. There is a tool, small SEO tools tool plagiarism checker. Very simple. You just need to copy the content that the writer has given to you and paste the content here. So let's say I want to check plagiarism for this paragraph. Copy, paste in this box. Click on check plagiarism. And it will start analyzing the content. Right? It will show you if the content is 100% unique or not. Let me share this link. While writing content, for example, what is SEO, there will be some plagiarism. How to avoid? No, no, no. So plagiarism is not. It will not be in the information piece. It will be how you write. So you can always rephrase, Rohit. Information has to be the same, right? You cannot add a misleading information. It will be same, but the way of writing should be different. Does YMYL page is for one page or entire website? Suppose if I have signed up ORM for collecting phone on only one page of my site. No, entire website, Santosh. It is entire website because as a site you are collecting the information. I checked the site which does not have a sitemap.xml. They don't have 402 means page not found. So maybe if the site is facing any crawling issue that Google is not crawling important pages of the site, then the site should upload sitemap.xml file. Rajesh, I think the only question that was pending, and in fact I have explained, was mind mapping from during the starting of the session. The only question that was pending was about mind mapping, which I have explained already. Am I right? There is no pending question as of now. Guys, I hope all of you have submitted feedback. It is written there, news one has to be news website. So try to take a small news website like the newsminute.com, or a lot of small news websites are there. ANI News. And one has to be lead generation site would be like Sulekha that asks you to fill up a form for inquiry, would be a lead generation site. And one is e-commerce, I believe. So don't take big websites, take smaller sites. I am not explaining today's assignment because I want all of you to complete first week assignment first. Because the first week assignment will take a lot of time. So I want all of you to complete that first. Yeah, for 2 or 3 people it's done, Ravi, but not everyone has done it. I want everybody to do it. We all of us should be on same page. Oh. Surbi, if you're facing problem with doing the assignment with big websites, you can switch to small website. Or maybe if you're taken big website, take one or two category. Don't take the entire site. That will help you to understand the SEO better. Okay, nice, nice. That's good. So, if there are no questions, so shall we wrap up the session, guys? Just dial is fine. You have already done. So, if you've understood, then base side should not be a problem. We generally recommend people ask people to attendees to take small websites so they understand the process better. Rohit, you can put a question in question answer. I'll answer it there. All right, guys, shall we wrap up? Shall we wrap up the session? Have a great weekend. And please, those who have not done first week assignment, please finish your assignments. And we'll catch up next Saturday now. Bye bye.